Good afternoon everybody, it's Denise here, Denise Junk Journals UK. It's lovely to have you here, thank you so much for joining me. I am a little bit late filming today and it is quite dark, so I hope my light's good enough. So I hope you're well. It is, what is the weather like here? Although it's not dark, I can see outside. It is, it's raining and dull, and although Alexa tells me it's, I think she said 6 degrees was the high today. She might even have said 8. Anyway, it definitely doesn't feel like that out there, although we are well past the height, I guess. Okay, so busy day here, cleaning out garages and sheds and cupboards. That's why I'm so late coming on, so it's all go. But it is Wednesday, and I did say to you that yeah, I will be doing the beginner's journal on a Wednesday. So, and I know there's a few of you who've already spoken to me waiting to see it, so excuse me, I'm here with my cup of tea which my lovely husband made me, all raring to go. So last time we were here I said I was going to glue some fabric down there on the cover that we made together and stitch around it on the machine, which I've done. So just get a little bit more of that out. So I stitched around it in black just because there's some black writing on the fabric and some black writing inside. I'm loving that. It's like gold now the light's shining on it. You know, I said it was a bit shiny. And yeah, I just glued a piece of cotton down the middle of the spine. It's not all the way down. Look, I'm going to glue it further, but I do this regular because I sew on the top here. I can't see the underneath. Look, I've wrinkled it up there. I think once you go that way around, the machine foot, the underneath of the machine's foot takes it that way. So luckily it's a little bit bigger than it needs to be anyway, so I can trim it a little bit to there. And then yeah, the rest of that wants gluing down, but I will do that when we finish today, because you know we want to sew the signature in. I told you we'd sew the signature in today, didn't I? So we want to do that, and yeah, I don't want to do it on top of wet material. So that's where I am with that. These were the pockets that we made for the inside of the front and back cover, and I have just stitched around those also in black with a zigzag to go on there. And I think that green is disappearing in, actually. I wasn't sure whether I wanted to stencil on it and bring it down a little bit, but it is actually now disappearing in. I think that the black cotton's done it a lot of good. Okay, so they can be stuck on as well, and then if we get time we're going to make a topper for the front of it, so we'll see. But I've brought a couple of my old postcards, portrait ones, which I haven't got many, or I've got this lady who is a very old photograph, original photograph, but it's on a piece of, well, I think that's cake board, and it looks like it's cake board that's actually been used. It looks like it's been cut on, but it's vintage, it's original, it's yeah, it's not new, so I don't know, it might not be, but it's obviously come out of a photo frame, hasn't it? But yeah, it's definitely an original photograph. It's not reproduced, so we'll see. Anyway, who we want on the front of it, we need to look at what's kind of in here. It's more of a sort of a botanical, and I suppose a portrait could go on a botanical. The other ones I brought are like, I mean, I really like that one. That's proper old sepia, isn't it? And you can tell by I was just looking at that collo type. It's very close to collage type, collage type, I should say. Yeah, I really like that one, but we'll see. And put them away, Denise, until we're ready. We might not get there. Depends how well the sewing in goes. And I've just brought some for the topper as well, some bits of fabric samples. We'll see. Anyway, so I've just got the bits of paper here that we had left from making those pockets, and a couple of 8x8 Timothy Holtz papers, should we need them for anything. I'll just put those down by my side. Let me tell you, my craft room, I've been crafting and running for the last 3 or 4 days. That's why I haven't got much filming done, and my goodness me, it is a mess. A holy mess. So yeah, I've just had a word with Neil and said tomorrow morning I really need to spend the morning, whoops, it's my awl sticking through there, just digging this place out and putting everything away, because 99% of everything now has a home, has somewhere to go. So, you know, can't use that old chestnut as an excuse, because no, it's got somewhere to go. So we're going to sew this single signature in, which is really quite easy. So you need something to make a hole with. Now these are worth buying if you're going to be a journal maker. They're not very expensive. It is a brad awl. Sometimes they come in the kits. You can buy kits. I think I got that one in a kit actually, with some thread and a needle. Don't know why I put it all away. A needle and what else came in it? Oh, it actually had the bone folder in with it as well, strangely enough. I'll use these big clips. Will that be overkill? We'll see. Right, so you want the signature that you have checked, and if you want to, I did think about it but I haven't, sew some lace on the side of it. Now is the time to do it. Yeah, but I want to do most of it with ear, and to be honest I want to do it for people who can't, you know, access a sewing machine as well as those that can. So we'll put some lace and things down the side, but we will we'll glue it on. So make sure that is the right way up, make sure this is the right way up. Now you don't have to measure, in my humble opinion, when you're doing a single signature. Now I was talking about putting an envelope in the middle of there, wasn't I, to show you how to do it. Let me see if I have one at arm's length. What do you say? Happy mail, so I bet there's an envelope in there. Don't think I can open it where you can see. Don't know if I should show you in my happy mail box. What isn't in there? Oh, that's nice. Right, that's a possibility. It does. I don't think I want a William Morris one in it, just so you know. Glassine. Now that one might go rather nicely. Yeah, I think that's the one. I can always put something on there. Is that a card that's come out of it? It is, look. Let's leave that out as well. Oh, sorry if I'm bashing you. That's why I said I didn't think I'd be able to show you. Okay, so if you put an envelope in the middle, it's preferable if your envelope's not sealed, if you can open it, so that you can put this side in, and then you'll glue it all down, and then you've still got your flap there, and it's kind of sitting that way in your book, and it opens that way, and it opens that way like a pocket. I'm not going to have to cover that. Look, that's nice. Now this, it is a good idea if you're not good at you know, tying your bows, or you know, you're not, you know, you're practicing and you want everything hidden, your strings and everything hidden. It's not good if you want danglies. So if you want charms or beads or things dangling off, don't put an envelope in the middle, unless you just stick it on the page as opposed to sewing it in the signature. I'm going to sew this one in just to show you. So all I do is put it, I think I can ink it later. Yeah, I can ink it when it's sewn in. Put it just somewhere in the middle. I'm not going to measure. You can measure and make it central. Make sure your pages are all the way up you want them. That's a big one, and it doesn't matter how many times I do it. Every now and then I put one in upside down. You know, that pocket page that we made, for example, if you put that upside down, it would be a rather large uptuck. And then it feels so thin. I haven't done one this thin for a long time. It's because I want to put a lot of things inside it. Yeah, then put it where you want it in the cover. Kind of line it all up. Now, I would say just doing these small journals if you're new, and just keep practicing, because it doesn't matter if your pages are not level. If you're doing this type of journal, you know, a grungy journal, I mean, look, I've got a page with a corner missing there. And then try and grab that. So clip one side. Now you can clip both sides of one side, the top and the bottom of one side if you want. And then I just get a ruler and just kind of tamp it down to try and get the pages into that very centre piece. Now if I open it up again fully flat, I'll lift those pages up again. So I try now to sew it in, keeping it, you know, closed. Are you too close, do you think? No, I don't think so. Keeping it closed as much as I can. Now if it all messes up for you, which it sometimes does for all of us, and you have to open it up, that's fine, but I find it always sews better if I try and keep it closed. What I should have done was got my thread ready, shouldn't I? So on all the videos I was learning on, it always said 3.5, and I've always, even when I've put dangles on, had far too much thread. So I now only do 3. Occasionally I do 3 in a tiny bit if I know I'm going to put dangles on, but these will be trimmed short anyway because they're going inside the envelope. Okay, so, and when you're punching a hole with your awl, you need a book or a piece of sponge or a rubber. I've got a book in here. No, I haven't. Got a bit of a one. Something just to protect your desk and your fingers from, I'll just layer some papers up, you know, from the awl as you poke it through, because you need it to go right through and out the other side. So again, you can measure middle and then 2 inches up, 2 inches down, or 1 inch in from the top, however you want to. I just simply eyeball the middle because I'm not that precious about it. Whoops, that wasn't very straight anyway. Kind of eyeball the middle, try and keep that upright, and then just push through. Try and keep it all straight down, try not to go sideways. That feels a bit sideways to me actually. If you do, it's not a problem, it's just easier if your needle, because you have to then take this out and put your needle in. If your needle is going in a straight line, it's often easier. Now, like I say, the less pages you do, the easier I find. Haha, she says. I find it to sew, just because there's less to move about, I suppose. So if you want the dangles on the strings on the inside, that's moving about, go from the inside out with your first thread. Yeah, so start with needle inside and push it outwards. You might not, you might want your threads, you know, to tie a bow or something on the outside, or dangles from here on the outside, in which case go from the outside in. So wherever you start, wherever your first thread is hanging, that is where your threads will end up. Okay, so my first one's through, and then I'm going to do the other one just about 1 centimetre inside the top of that envelope, and again try and do it straight down if I can and push it through. Now this one is going in back that way through the hole, so as I'm taking the awl out, I try and put the needle in where it's come from, and then your pages in theory don't have time to move about, and pull it through. That's it. Make sure that one's not going to go all the way through as you pull your thread, otherwise you'll have to start again. Right, are you in nice and flat? You then go the same at the bottom, so you've gone the middle out, top in, and then you go all the way to the bottom and out again. Oops, see, I've taken that out and lost my hole. Did it even go through there? Yep, there it is. I thought I'd lost a page out of my journal then. That's it, and pull it through. Now those are the easiest bits. This is the bit that always, you know, if anything I'm going to have problems with, it's usually this bit, because you have to go back through the same hole from the outside in, but you really want to avoid going through the thread that's already there, and I find it nearly impossible. It's, you know, it's possible to fix it if you do, but it's much easier to not do that. Okay, so now if you pull these and they move individually, that's fine, it's not through. And what you want, oops, to be able to tie it without it coming undone is you've got this piece like this big stitch running up here, and then your 2 tails coming through. You want to tail each side of that stitch, because when you tie it, that stitch stops the knot going down through the hole again. If you just have it one side or the other and you pull it really tight, the knot will disappear down that hole. This stitch stops it. So if you just wrap the threads around each other, you can give them a gentle pull without tearing too badly. If you pull it really hard, it is paper, and thread will cut paper. It will tear up here and tear up here, or make your holes bigger. Again, you can fix that. You can put blobs of glue, you can put washi tape and things like that on, but it's better if you pull it tight, nice and firm, but not too tight. So I tend to pull it like that and then have a look on the outside, because you can often do that and then find you've got a real loose one here. That one's okay. You don't want it, you know, sagging down, because your signature will then move around. So yeah, pull it firmly but not too tight, and then tie it in a knot. Now again, most videos I've seen, people suggest that you tie it 3 times. I now only tie it twice. I think a 3 knot in there is way too much. There's a great big low loader backing up our road with lots of cars on it, and I mean lots. Wow. And we only live in a small road, so interesting. So sorry. So that was one. So what you do is try and turn your threads the other way. I don't know why, but people say if you do one left over right and then one right over left, it's more secure. So that's what I do. Don't pull it too tight. And that's it. I call it a day there. Now, when I'm hiding my threads like this in an envelope, I sometimes put a blob of glue on each of those 3 to stop them moving. But if you're going to do that, you need to check your signatures first, because at this point it is still possible to undo it. You know, if that knot is wrong, too tight or too loose, it is possible to, and if you look back at my old videos, you'll have seen me do it lots of times, with a sharp needle to just kind of broggle in that knot and open it all up again and start again. That is possible. So what I will do, I'll check it and then I'll cut that short and glue that down. So let's just check that the pages, before I cut those threads, are all nicely in there. So you can see I've done it fairly tight. Any tighter and I would be tearing pages there, and sometimes they do tear, you know, and there's no reason why you can't, you know, put a bit of washi or a bit of tape or blob of glue, anything. Yeah, maybe I've done it ever so slightly tight, but I like everything firm. Right, are you moving about a bit? You are a bit, but I think that's, you come loose in there. Does a bit, hasn't it? See, maybe you are going to see it. Maybe I should glue it straight away. You see, I just put the awl in there, and how easily it came open. Now I suppose that's why they're saying 3 knots. But I thought I had that quite tight. The thing is, the envelope is quite thin paper as well. Come out. So you have to have a bit of patience. If you're in a hurry or you're not feeling yourself or whatever, sewing a signature in is not necessarily the thing to do. Okay, so pull it tight that way. Pull it tight that way. Tie it right over left. Oh, my finger cracked then. Left over right. At least you got to see me do it twice. Oh, that's better. So, yep, don't know what I did, but it's definitely stronger now. I'll carry on checking. I mean, this is quite thin paper that I've got. You can probably hear by it as well. It's not the 120 that I use now. I think it's probably only 100 GSM. I love that. And so I put the blue on for a bit of pop of colour. So I didn't want to go green with everything. So I am going to, because that... oh, excuse me. That's me stomach saying give me another drink of tea. Because it's going to be closed and I'm going to use it as a, you know, a closed envelope pocket. Is there anything coming out? I can't see. Yes. I'm just going to put a tiny blob of glue, not too much because you don't want it to travel down the holes and glue all your pages closed together, you know. That one's in there, that one's a bit short, so I'll put a blob of glue on the end of that one. Should in theory hold that down, we'll see. Come on. No, it's not going to stay in place. Let me hold it like that. Oh, I should have glued that first. Yeah, that's right, this one's going on top of that one and there's a gap in the middle, so I'm just going to glue this closed here and put a bit more blob on that because I'm going to, that's it. Okay, so that envelope is now closed and attached like that in the middle, and there are no threads to be seen. Okay, if you don't want to put an envelope in, if you want to make it really easy for yourself first time, just tie your threads in a bow. You can still put a little tiny blob of glue on it should you wish to. And there we have the start of our journal. Nothing in it. I'm going to put some tip-ins and flip-outs in it. But it's actually sewn up and ready to go. Embellish it. Okay, so shall we, yeah, let's put these in because it can be drying then, can't it, while we, no, because I want to try the topper on it, so we'll make the topper. Let's make the topper and then I can glue those inside and we're done. So what we're going to put it on, let me get rid of all that and all that because it's just getting lost amongst the melee here. So I don't think a castle, I think that one that I saw originally, that I think I'm going to go for that. It says, or Judges is what it says on the back as well, isn't it? 20515 Ollerford Bridge. Beautiful scenery. So I don't know if it's the Yorkshire Dales or if it's the, don't know where Ollerford is, the lakes, or don't know where. Somewhere in England. Right, it's just got a little white, not white, but lighter mark across the top. So yeah, you can feel it's vintage. It's not like card, it's more like paper. It's a shame to hide the back, but these things need to be used. Right, I have another piece of that somewhere because that one doesn't look big enough and it doesn't look the right colour. I had a brown piece, didn't I? Did you see somebody come along and steal it? Because they were all together, weren't they? What did I do with those other photos? That's it. It's with the other photos. Who knew it was me that moved it? Oh, you're not going to fit on there either, are you? That is a shame. Would have made it thick anyway, wouldn't it? So I want some, I think, brown card. Or shall we put it on some Tim Holtz? Let me just have a look. No, I'm not liking it on that one. I don't think I like it on that one either. So I want some brown card. Or we could have, oh dearie me, I want something vintagey looking. I'm just looking at my books, which is why I'm making a banging noise. The books that I have in front of me, see if there's fly papers, but I don't know if they'll be strong enough. I was looking for a cover, but there isn't really. There isn't really one there. I might have to stop and get some brown card because it's usually here, but I can't see it. Brown card, anybody? Oh, I know what card I have got here. Hang on. Now, this is from Tanya at Teddy Treasures kit that I'm doing at the moment. Oh, I like it with that bit behind, the edge bit. I've got the grey. Let's cut a piece and see. It just stands out a bit, doesn't it? Shall we use scissors? I can always straighten it up if I want to. Or shall I have it? I'll trim the white off. I'm thinking I might want it torn actually, because there's a nice square edge to the postcard, isn't there? So I might like this not square, but I'll take the white off because it changes the way it looks. Yeah, so I did toppers with you the other day, I think, didn't I? Yeah, I did all you know, bright pink Flower Fairy, so they're no good. But basically, you need a firmer piece for the back. I think I've got them here. What did I put them on? Oh, yeah, I've got some more that I've done since as well. Did I knock you again? Yes. Oh, these were the ones I did. Also, I did do these, because they were on card, so I did them straight onto fabric. So yeah, you want something that's going to be your backing piece. Yeah, I think as long as there isn't too much behind that, I quite like it. Let's put it on and then tear around it and hope it tears. Hope it plays. Just something about that grey and black with the sepia postcard. That is appealing to me. So yeah, like I say, we have been emptying. Oh, we've been tidying. I think we've been cleaning. We just got up and decided to do it. Went to the tip. So we took lots of bits and pieces out of the shed from, you know, as we've altered the house. So things that got saved for the short term that I didn't think, you know, we didn't think we'd want, but you know, you just don't want to. You don't want to throw out, do you? Neil's got a new second-hand filing cabinet for his tools and fishing things and goodness knows what, so he was squaring his shed up, and I said, well, because it's not, we call it the tip, it's a recycling centre. I need that to dry really, don't I? So I said, well, if we go in there, we ought to clear some of our drawers out of our clothes. I think we both ought to choose 3 things, because we keep buying clothes and not getting rid of any. Choose 3 things each and we need to get rid of them, and I think we probably got rid of 6 each. So they're not put in the you know, the landfill or anything. We had a huge bag of those as well, and then it's we went to Mum's to do some shopping, and she had lots of stuff in her shed. You know, junk that Dad used to play with, men in the shed. So I'm just tearing it with this. I might nobble into it, nobble into it. I might not. I don't know. Yeah, so we got rid of a lot of stuff from there. Oh. Oh. And of course it was shopping day, so yeah, we hadn't stopped. And yesterday was really busy. There wasn't a video up yesterday. I got sidetracked with, well, not sidetracked particularly, just had to do it and just ran out of time. I had a lot of Etsy things to package up and get to the post office. And yes, we are posting abroad now, or out of the UK. Small letters, I think, and small packages. I don't think it was small and large letters. I think it was small letters and small packages. Anyway, both of mine went, so that was good. Hooray. So she's not sure about the backlog, but obviously there is one, isn't there? Because it's been more than a week now. Oh, too much on that side. I'm inking it and I need more off, I think. Although we might end up with some lace on it, so we need something to sew the lace to. And I've got lacy bits here, so let's have a look, drag some bits in. Oh, that's nice. I want it proper vintagey looking. I don't want it over the top. I don't want it too full on. I'm not doing like a boho or a shabby chic. That's nice on there, isn't it? Understated vintage. Gosh, Mr. Next Door banging his door. I don't know if you can hear. He'll be needing a new one soon, the way he shuts it. I don't know if it gets stiff or something, but it sure does bang it. It doesn't bother me as such. It's just that if somebody was banging my door like that, I'd be like, give up banging the door, we'll need a new one at that rate. So it kind of, yeah, it doesn't aggravate me, but makes me wonder why. Why do you do it? He does it all the time. I'm sitting in the front room talking to Neil and it bangs, and I often say, shut door. Neil laughs at me. It's just a bit of overkill, isn't it? Do we want it that way? I can't remember now. Probably not, but that's where it's going. So I didn't know if to put a fabric cluster on it, but I'm thinking it doesn't want very much at all. And I'm thinking if I want another colour behind that again, I'm not sure that's matted enough with that grey. I like the grey. Just thinking I might want something else behind it. I just saw some vellum I liked, but it's very dark behind me. All the light is on my desk. If I have all the light on behind me in the room, you can't see. Yeah, you can see. You can see the light. It shines. Sorry, I wasn't thinking. Yeah, this is the bit that takes a bit of, like I say, I don't want to quite like that ratty tatty bit there. I don't want to overdo it. Is it too, let's take some chunks out. I might ruin it, I might not, I don't know. Now this is vintage lace as well, so. Oh, well, it's vintage lace curtain, I think. I don't think it's actual for clothing. I just wanted it a bit more. Gosh. Yeah, I know Tanya was saying on her channel the other day that she can't rip lace. Me neither. It's just too strong. Yeah, that's the right side. I am going to cut it down a bit. Yeah, it's got like a moth-eaten bit there. That's kind of what I wanted. Huh. Got a point. Yeah, I don't like that pointy bit. I was just trying to make it look a bit rough, but it was a bit silly. Yeah, I like that hole. Maybe. Move back, please. Oops. Now then. Oh, you know, this room is such a mess. I just cannot find anything. I was wondering about putting a book plate on it. And they're here somewhere sat looking at me. Oh, they're there on the bed. Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe they're here. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, only great big ones. Where are the small ones then? Oh, we don't want one of those, that is for sure. I think even the smaller one might be too much actually. No, I think we'll probably put a word on it and we'll mat it again. So maybe if we put this higher up there a little bit, like that, and leave a space here, yeah, for the title. Now I'm thinking that's enough. I don't think it wants a. Yeah, I think that's too much. Do I want Rick Rack? No. No. Right, now this is, I saw this on the desk and thought this might make a nice closure. So it is vintage trim, upholstery trim, in which case it wants to go behind it. I'm going to glue it behind it, so yeah, and I kind of want it middle, so we'll do that and then put that topper on, I think. So we have got 22 centimetres, so we want it at about 11. So I want it middle-ish. Whoops, picked up a brush instead of a pencil. Why did we say 11? About there. Oops, about on that E. I'm sure that would draw on there, but it did. So now there is more than I need, but I am going to put it on centrally and then we'll see. So find the middle, fold it over, find the middle, and then open it out and put the middle there. Now I've got a word to underline, look, so if I just put, right, don't over pull it, Denise, hold that there and just put a line of Fabri-Tac, because this bit here will be under the topper to about there. Yeah, so it stretches easy. It's trying not to stretch it, is the. Actually, that's hidden it quite well, hasn't it? You know, the topper, putting the topper on will hold the front anyway, so we don't have to be too. Yes, it's very easy to make you not straight. Spend a bit of time getting that, although it won't show too much through the under here. It shows under that bit. Yeah. But what we definitely want is this bit here straight. So let's measure this again. Have I got you laid down? Now I could always put a brad on the end if I need to, just to give it a little bit of extra security. We'll see. Is that where you're finishing? Are you about 11? Let's check. I don't want to be miles out. You are just about, perhaps up a little bit. So there. Now, I'm not going to be able to see because I haven't got a word there, have I? So I'm going to try and draw a pencil line under it where I want it to go. Let's hope it drew like it did on the back. Oh yeah, not bad. Very faint, but I can just see it. I'm not taking my eyes off it. I think if I took my eyes off it, I'd lose it. But yeah, I might need a bit more on there, seeing as it's... I won't be able to get under it again, will I? Oops. I mean, we can always put something over it again if it becomes messy with glue. Hopefully it won't, but you know, you could put a, what would you call a topper that goes on the back? Still a topper, I guess, or something, or some more fabric or some more lace. Just rub that. Oh no, I've got some lace in my tea, would you believe? Well, that's definitely tea dyed. Oh dear. Yeah, we've got a bit of a goldish theme going on, haven't we, with the yellowy gold writing on the outside and that gold thread. Yeah, here is where I'm talking about. I can always put a brad or something in there. I will glue it down, but I want to get this. I want to get this on first. So, is that the way up? Yeah, we was having this little cut bit down here, weren't we? So, don't want more of it showing, or see that gold through it there, can't we? No, I want that further across. Yeah, I've got some nice sort of brass antique brads. I might put one on there just to hold that down, so I need to come down a tiny bit. That's it. Yep, so I'm going there. Don't need an awful lot. We'll put more on the actual card itself. That'll hold it down, but just hold this in place while we get the card sorted. Oops. There we go. Right, while I've been on here filming, the sun has gone, so we are dark now out there. Let me look at it through the... Yeah, I've got some nice brass buttons as well, so we might make a cluster with a brass button on it for down here. Another day, not today, because we're running out of time. I'm going to put this on. So you can make your toppers as simple or as complicated as you like. You can just put a picture on there that's matted onto a piece of card. That's all you need. It doesn't have to have, you know, lace and extra pieces of matting. It's completely up to you. And if you're practicing, sometimes simple is a better option until you get your confidence. If you're confident, don't keep it simple, just go for it. You've got nothing to lose. Just don't use anything you'd be upset about losing. You know, not being able to use. That kind of needs to be stood under something now, so we can't work on that anymore. We'll need a book on it. Let's put a book on it till it sticks. Okay, so that will be it, and I can't really give you a flip through of what we've done, can I? Because it is now waiting under there. So all we've got to do now is we're all stitched in, so we can get pockets. So we'll make some pockets and add them next time. We'll do some page edge decorations, and then we'll start doing some embellishing. So sorry, I'm getting tongue tied. I'm definitely ready to go drink this cup of tea now. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you're new or you're a beginner and you're enjoying it, let me know. If you want me to show you anything in particular, let me know. I've just remembered I said I was going to put the corners on as well, so we'll do that next time, put those brass corners on it. Okay, hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow for yeah, Tatty Treasure and Friends, no, Tatty Treasure Gentleman Kit, Tatty Treasure and Collage Type, that's what I was trying to get out. Okay, I'm off because I'm tired. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.